Alright, so hello you guys, and welcome to another video. I'm sorry this video is a premiere. I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, in this video we're going to be talking about a retailer leak of the Dji FPV drone. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's get right into it. Alright, so I do apologize for the, I don't know, bad video quality. This is a premiere right now, so I'm not going to be able to respond directly, like by saying something to your live comments, but rest assured, if you do comment on the premiere in the live chat on the premiere feature, I will respond to you in the chat. So yeah, please do chat your response to this. So yeah, sorry. Again, I'm sorry this isn't a live stream. I had a copyright issue with the previous live stream. So yeah, trying to get that figured out right now. Anyway, let's get right into this actually. So this is a retailer that accidentally basically posted a website on it. They accidentally pretty much made they published their website on the Dji FPV drone before the actual release of the drone, which this website actually does have. Anyway, so this whole video came from the Dji FPV drone Facebook group, mainly by Jasper Ellens, a good friend of mine. Jasper, I would say the only good person on Facebook that exists, maybe except for Ash from Droning On and a couple of other YouTube friends, maybe Keith and Chuck, but pretty much I think this is one of the greatest Facebook groups for the Dji FPV drone, partially because the people here don't just constantly bash it. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good place. You should go definitely check it out. It's more positive than any other place on Facebook. So yeah, if you do want to go check it out, please do. Not sponsored, but this guy and this place is, a great place that I like to go to, and that's where I found this leak. So this is a cached version of the of an old website. So this website was posted a while ago. Not a while ago, it was earlier today, but Jasper Ellens managed to find a snapshot of the page as it appeared on February 23rd, 2021 at 13:24 GMT. The current page is gone, so this is all we have left. And so here, first thing we can see is this nice image. Basically, I think this is going to be some really great form of promotion. Personally, my opinion on this, because I'm supposed to be doing transformative content, I think this is, personally, I don't know about the look of this drone. I really don't know. It's an interesting look to the drone, and it's a very weird design. And if whether I'm gonna buy it or not, I really don't know. I think I might buy it if I can. We will talk about that a little bit later, whether I'll buy it or not, my opinions on this sort of stuff. But I think it definitely looks interesting, and it's something I'd be interested in buying, especially with the goggles and such. So the website says, the Dji FPV is a new system from Dji that offers an immersive cinematic experience. With the new system, Dji has taken its expertise in image quality and user experience and incorporated handling and acrobatic capabilities from hobbyist freestyle drones. The result is a video and camera platform that is uniquely positioned in the market for filming action, and a drone that's more fun to fly than any other Dji drone that has come before it. That's interesting. I would definitely say, yeah, this is more of like a fun drone than a, cinematic drone, kind of like the Mavic 2 or such. So that's going to be interesting. What's included in the box? The main components of the system are the DJI FPV drone, the FPV remote controller V2 version, the DJI FPV goggles version 2, and as for the drone itself, everything else in the box, you get a battery, as shown by here, a battery for the actual goggles, V2 goggles, their own included battery, 2 sets of propellers, an OTG cable, a USB-C cable, an AC adapter, and it basically comes with a lot of adapters, the antennas for the controller, and it comes with an extra shell, so that's nice. So you can change the color from transparent, blackish to lime green or whatever that color is. Okay, so the camera on this thing is going to be interesting because it on paper it's a better camera than the Mavic 2, and this is just on paper. So there are 2 sets of specs. What's transmitted back to the goggles, and then what's on the drone, as it says right here. So it's a 142 degree view, so it's a wide angle. When shooting at 50 or 100 frames per second, the view widens to 150 degrees, so really wide. I really have no idea how wide that is. The goggles are going to have, of course, a real-time view. It's FPV, first-person view, as it happens, with low latency. I mean, low latency, we've all heard that before. The DJI Goggles V2, top of the line in HD FPV. It's video transmission in up to 810p at 60 frames a second in high quality mode, or 120 FPS in the latency mode. So on and so forth. So the onboard video is 4K 60 FPS. So that, on paper, is better than the Mavic 2 Pro and 2 Zoom, because these guys can only do 4K 30. But these guys also have, would you look at that, a 3-axis gimbal. This guy is only going to have a 1-axis gimbal. So imagine, instead of your drone being able to turn its camera like this, like this, or this, and just lock. It can only go up or down. That's what this FPV drone is. So maybe you won't be getting the best footage out of it, but hey, it's an FPV drone. So yeah, that's interesting. It will have Rocksteady. So what that is it's DJI's version of, like a stabilization, image stabilization. That's not like a gimbal. It's just pure image stabilization based off of the gyroscope and such. Kind of like a GoPro, specifically the GoPro Hero 9's like hyper smooth. That sort of stuff. Yeah. So Rocksteady, this was on their Osmo Action. So yeah. It does have distortion correction, but only people who are doing cinematic stuff are going to care about that stuff. The video also is recorded in H.6. Oh boy, let me just restart. H.264 or H.265. Okay, I read that right. And here we can see another image of it, just out in the desert. It's interesting. This is everything that comes in the box. Use of blah blah blah. Flying it in normal mode. So this is going to be like flying it like a Mavic. GPS assisted mode, smooth flight. Oh my god! It only has a maximum attitude angle of 25 degrees and flight speed of 33 miles an hour, which is still pretty high. Then you can switch it to sport mode, which increases the flight speed to 60 miles an hour. That's basically double the flight speed, and double the ascent speed and descent speed rates. Yeah, that sounds literally about right. Anyway, um, then oh boy. So basically, like sport mode and normal mode. I assume normal mode is going to be the only mode that has, you know, obstacle avoidance or something like it, because this drone does have cameras on the front, so that's interesting. I have a feeling sport mode is just going to be like a sport mode on the Mavic, where you go forward, and when you take your hand off the controller, it's just going to hover again. So it's going to be like flying this thing, but just faster, in sport mode. But there is another mode called manual mode, according to this website, of course, that basically disables most of the flight assists. So pretty much, like, you can go forward and it'll continue going forward. So yeah, it's more just like a freestyle drone. It is actually disabled by default, and you can enable it through the goggle menu. And there also is in this mode a maximum attitude where you can't flip over. It won't go further. But you can turn that off. So technically, you could do rolls and flips and who knows what else, flying inverted or something, with the DJI FPV drone, because you can actually disable, according to this website, the parameters that sets, you know, where your drone will stop. So basically, if I went, you know, full forward, it would go. That's funny to think about, and you can do flips and turns and whatever else you want to, apparently. Also, a lot of people have been asking, you know, the controller. The DJI controller right now, how it works is on both sides, the stick goes back to the middle, right? Right, so in this controller, out of the box, it goes back to the center. But using a screw on the back, you can actually turn that off. So if I would just press, like, if I loosen the screw and I push forward, it would just stay forward. So that's how, like, normal FPV drones work and such. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Usability. Unlike most hobby grade, I'm reading off the actual webpage right now. It says, unlike most hobby grade drone equipment, usability of the full system is a top priority. DJI has taken great care to ensure the freestyle-like experience is also seamless and easy to access for all users. Some of the expected usability and safety features include lighting, smart return to home, low battery return to home, and both forward and downward facing obstacle avoidance sensors. So forward obstacle avoidance and downward facing obstacle avoidance. So DJI has also brought a few new tricks to the table. Okay, cool. Such as the emergency brake. So I know Ken Heron and Ken Dona talked about this, but the website says that pretty much if there's a panic button. So if you're flipped over or inverted or falling out of the sky or something, you press that button and the drone goes whoop, and it says right here the drone goes into full stabilization mode to set itself upright and hover in place. Perfect. It goes back into GPS mode, and you're all safe. So as long as you're not 3 inches, you know, above the ground and you mess something up, this is like a safety net. The motion controller. This is such an interesting thing. We saw patents of this controller earlier, and wow, seeing it in photos is very interesting. I don't know how to feel about it. I've definitely never seen anything like it before, and anything that is like it has not been very good, if I'm going to be honest with you. So what this is basically, it's a trigger, I think. It's a trigger style controller where you pull the trigger to go forward and you can, like, weave through trees and such. So that's interesting. I don't know what the little joystick on it is for. Maybe you can control it like that. I have no idea. Yeah. Instead of the traditional 2-stick controller, you can instead fly the DJI FPV drone with a one-handed motion sensing remote. Details on the motion controller are still forthcoming, but this device could be revolutionized. Well, I mean, this page wasn't meant to be posted yet, so the way pilots interact with the drone. The promise is a natural and intuitive connection between the drone and the operator that makes it much easier to learn to control the traditional systems that came before. Cool. Looks like it has a record button, zoom button or something. It has a bunch of buttons on it that I'm sure you can customize and do a lot of things with. And as for the actual specs or performance, as this website says, this website said it's going to have a 20-minute flight time and speeds up to 60 miles an hour. That's interesting. It's definitely not, slow, but it's a lot more tame than FPV drones, and it's not meant for FPV people. People hate on it, and I get that because they're FPV people. This sort of stuff isn't meant for them. It's interesting. The barrier to entry for racing and freestyle has historically been extremely high, forcing pilots to learn control systems, understand radio frequency usage, navigate confusing manufacturer standards, and much more. Building your own drone is nothing like going to the store and taking out of the box and flying it. Like, this thing is probably going to have minimal troubleshooting compared to, like, building your own quad. The amount basically, when you're building your own quad, you're basically doing it from scratch. There's very little places that'll actually build stuff for you or have a ready to go kit, and I think DJI is honestly one of the first. There's beta FPV, but really, I mean, DJI is if we're gonna be honest, DJI is the bigger company in this fight. And that's nothing against beta FPV or their products. I haven't tried any of them out, but I've heard they're really, really good. So maybe we'll see some competition, which is good. Beta FPV, good on you for doing, stuff against DJI or making products that compete with DJI, because normally they just have a monopoly over the whole thing. And, that's sad. So, yes, competition is good. Yep. It does have ADS-B, but I'm sure that's not going to be in Europe because, that's just for some reason they don't like that, or DJI isn't going to do that. They didn't do that with the, what was it? It was the Mavic Air 2, I believe, that had ADS-B here in the US, but not over there in Europe. And the Kens talked about this on their show, so I mean, I don't know anything, so. Conclusion. So many parts like the okay, here we go. So many parts like the landing gear, gimbal, and top shell are replaceable. Nice. Conclusion: the DJI FPV drone is and this is their words, not mine. The DJI FPV drone is an exciting and unique entry into the market, as the system is much more agile and sporty than anything else that's come out of Shenzhen. While freestyle and racing enthusiasts won't find it quite fast or agile enough to take it out on the racetrack or bash around a bando, that kind of performance means sacrificing usability, which the DJI system does not do. So what does it excel at? Action footage for sports and fast-moving subjects would be a prime candidate. Cinematic shots that require the fitness, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Guys, not for FPV people, it's for, people who fly Mavic drones that want to do this stuff and think it looks cool. Okay, so pricing. Wow, first of all, that a high quality, nice image. And again, you can see 4K 60 on the side of the camera. Nice. It says DJI FPV, redefined flying. $1,299. This is US dollars, I believe. So that's me going through this entire thing. Man, this is gonna be really hard to upload. Anyway, yeah, this is great stuff. So basically, we saw the price, we saw the performance, we saw this new controller, which is quite an interesting thing. So yeah, I will be making some voiceover videos of this with more condensed information and that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button when you subscribe, And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.